That was a process, and that happens twice in a year. Means the recruit in a single year, two events will happen. One is a scientist entry test, which is open to all Indian candidates. Separate entrance exam will be there, followed by interview, and the selection is made. And for the institutes like IITs and MITs, they used to take the direct recruitment, just going to the colleges, just like a campus recruitment. They used to take for the this services. These services are called DRDS, Defense Research and Development Services. Just like any other central government services, like for Indian Railways have a different services name, IRTS, IRTS, right? And different services in the different IRS is there, and Department of Science and Technology has got different services name. So DRDO services are called Defense Research and Development Services, and these services are classified as, if someone is joining DRDS, they will be part of the class one. Okay, I think there was some mistake in the some problem has occurred in the video. Okay, so I'll repeat. Something has happened there. So if we can, today's our talk is basically on Defense Search and Development Organization, their recruitment process, and what are the different opportunities which is DRDO is giving to the engineering students. So it is headquartered in Delhi, and basic aim is to make country self-reliant in defense R&D and to give the products which are useful for the tri-services of the nation. So that with that aim, DRDO is doing the technological research in the following areas. As it is said, it is naval systems and materials, aeronautical systems, armament and combat engineering systems, missile and strategic systems, electronics and communication systems, life sciences, microelectronic devices, computational systems, and cyber systems. Okay, so this area basically contains the different branches of engineering, not only just a single branch. Don't think that aeronautical systems will take only aerospace engineers or mechanical engineers. No, they take all kinds of engineers. They take computer science, electronics, electrical, mechanical, aerospace. Okay. Similarly, naval systems and materials. You see here, whatever picture you are seeing, that is basically antennas mounted over a circular frame. Different antennas are there. Sensors are there basically. So when you want to look for a particular thing, like for example, electronics and communication systems, they work basically. The areas are divided. So the charter of duties for them is to work for radars, work for electronic warfare systems, work for electro-optics and infrared sensors, and software-defined radios, communication systems also. Okay, life sciences works for different things available from the, like for chemistry people will be useful for life sciences, right? Even mechanical people also, electronics people also come because they understand the sensor, because that is also required. Aeronautical systems, you will see the aerospace engineers, followed by the electronics and communication engineers, mechanical engineers. So different branches fits almost in all the places. Okay, that is one thing DRDO has. Only they divided based so that they can focus on that particular area more, so that they have different divisions among the R&D which is taking place in the DRDO. The services which we joined in DRDO is starts from Scientist B, and these services are called Defense Search and Development Services. Okay, so these, according to this different areas of research, there are many labs clustered around in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, in Pune, some small places like Gwalior, Agra, and some places in Pithoragarh also. You will find some places in Leh Ladakh also, and Shimla, and then finally Chennai, right? So you will find DRDO lab spread across the country. Okay, some places maybe only the testing places, only testing is taking place, no major lab, but yes, it is spread across the country. Okay, so there are around more than 45, more than 40 labs in DRDO. which around 1000 for the DRDO, in which all different kinds of cadres are there. But today we are talking about a cadre which is called a DRDS cadre, Defense Research and Development Services. Just like any other central government services, this is also one kind of services which is being given by the central government for the DRDO Scientist. Okay. Now, earlier, when the recruitment was taking place for DRDO, the recruitment was happening through two channels. One is channel is through scientist entry test, and the other channel is through uh, direct recruitment from the IITs and NITs and ISC. Later, they were started taking through direct, not through direct recruitment, but they made a common only single exam, which is scientist entry test. That's called SET. Now, at present, the DRDO recruitment is happening through the GATE score. Okay. So gate score is only a beginning part of it. It is not the if you have a valid gate score and good gate score, you will get a recruitment DRDO. That is not so. That becomes like a preliminary exam. Okay, so gate score is just like a preliminary exam. Qualifying the gate score, qualifying the gate exam, and getting a good rank in the gate exam will decide whether you can appear for the next level exam or not. That's like a mains exam followed by an interview. Okay. So this notification came in for the 202C notification for gate 202C for DRDO. So those who are candidate desirous of recruitment of post of scientist B in Defense Research Development Organization, that the organization may be notifying vacancies of scientist B for the year 2023. Organization has already notified vacancies for the 2022. That process is already over. That I'll show you that also. The direct recruitment of the post will be conducted based on the valid gate score and his written test and or written test interview for vacancies in the discipline for which gate is conducted. Generally, for the post of scientist, both post of Group A gazetted officers, the interview is must. So interview generally happens. Okay, until unless there are very few candidates and until unless the job demands such. Otherwise, 99% of the cases the interview will happen. So it is must. Those who possess a valid gate score on the crucial date of eligibility are considered for shortlisting for written test oblique interview. So GATE becomes a compulsory exam for getting a recruitment in DRDO. So that was a notice which DRDO has got a different division in the headquarters, which is called Recruitment and Assessment Center, which takes care of the recruitment assessment of the scientists who are in the lab, and recruitment of the people who want to join the DRDO at various levels. Okay. So the maximum age limit in this is 28 years. So you can join DRDO before 28 years. And the streams which are applicable for the recruitment are from electronics and communication, computer science, mechanical, electrical, metallurgy, chemical, civil engineering, and instrumentation, aerospace engineering. And I'll show you about the pay skills and other things. Age limit not exceeding 28 years. So first exam, the process will be like you have to get a gate score, and depending on the number of seats which are taking, so they will call around 1:25 ratio for the exam and 1:5 for the ratio for the personal interview. So suppose let's they are having around 100 seats, right? So they will call around 500 students for the personal interview, and 1:25 again multiply by 5, so up to 20 to 2000 rank they can call for the exam, or 2500 they can call for the exam. Okay. So these are the streams which is suggested on gate 2020 notification, and the DRD notification also came after that. Okay. So these are the important dates for the GATE exam. So you can just tentatively you can remember these dates for the DRDO 2023 notification. You have to, I think GATE exam, this thing is done already. So now you will be getting the admit cards in the month of January, and finally the exam will be there in February. Okay, all related information regarding the DRD will be available on rac.gov.in website. You can always go through it and get the recent and the updated information from there. Now, how the DRDO job is and how the kind of opportunities which you will get after joining the DRDO. This is only just to motivate you that how the like other Group A services of central government, DRDO also have a scheme of grade starting from scientist B and goes up to the Secretary, Department of Defense R&D and chairman. Okay, so there the scientist B starts. So now, if you recall, if you just go through the internet, there are seventh Central Pay Commission has given the different levels and different pay metrics. So the scientist B starts from level 10, and the starting basic pay. This is not the complete pay, remember. This is the basic pay of the scientist, and which is 56,100 rupees. Remaining all is calculated based on the percentage of the basic pay, right? There will be like BNS allowance, there will be like house rent allowance, there will be like transport allowance, and some miscellaneous things. So overall, this goes up to nearly 90,000 to 1 lakh rupees. Okay, so the promotion happens from B to scientist B to scientist C, D, E, F, G. There are different categories. There are promotions which happens in 3 years, from B to C. That is called an outstanding promotion. And if you are a really good performer, you can get within 3 years. Now from C to D, becoming scientist C, and if you want to go for D, minimum 4 years it takes. That is an outstanding promotion. DRDO has taken a care for really outstanding and achieving candidates, and they called in a super outstanding category, which generally happens like 2 or 3 posts, and for them the minimum number of years are 3 years. So you can become scientist D minimum in 6 years, okay, and moderately in 7 years. And if it is normal promotion, then 4 to 5 years will take around 9 years to 10 years. So you can reach from level 10 to level 11 in 3 years minimum, and level 11 to level 12 in 3 years. But if it's outstanding, 4 years, and if it is normal, then in 5 years. Okay, so they have taken a good promotion policy structure. Let's say you are joining at the age of 28, okay, and you have the retirement age is 60, and you have 32 years of service. So I'm considering the 28 years of joining. If you're joining early, that is much more beneficial. Now you can become, if all the promotion policies are taking normally also, then it will be like 3 years, so 5 years, so 4 years, 5 years, then again 5 years, 23, 24 years. So within 24 years, you can reach F, right? And F to the again, that depends on the, sometimes now it depends on the vacancy basis also, a number of things. So you can be at the most G if you are joining at the age of 28. Worst case, if you are going a normal promotion rate. And if you're really achieving and doing a very outstanding work, you can become scientist H also there, right? So you can find that most of the people who are joining late, becoming scientist D is not an issue for them. Those who are joining early, they can become scientist H also, right? And the senior scientist. These are certain posts which happens. Like if you heard in the case of civil services and the bureaucracy, there are under secretary, then director, joint secretary. Like so, these are the similar to those only. They are all within the same levels of pay. Okay. And cabinet secretary, of course, cabinet secretary is above the secretary of Department of Defense R&D. He is a topmost offer, and under him comes various secretaries of the different departments. But the secretary Department of Defense R&D and chairman the complete R&D of the country, not only the DRDO but also the industries. Okay, the defense R&D is taking place now, as the government policy is not taking place only in the DRDO. It is taking place outside DRDO also. Many industries are playing a role. Okay, so that we should know. And if someone is really interested in doing defense R&D, yes, the door of the industries are also open to that. They can try there also. Okay, everyone definitely will not make for DRDO. So if someone is interested there, he can join the industries also who are working in defense R&D. Okay. Now, this is something interesting that someone wants to know that someone doesn't get a promotion at all. How about the salaries? Okay. Of course, this is not related to the recruitment process. I'll come to that recruitment process in just few times. You just see, you're joining at level 10 and your initial pay is 56,100, right? This is only the basic pay. Now, as every year, your basic pay will increase from 56,100 to 57,800, 59,500. Like this, it will increase. And if you are remaining scientist with throughout your career, your basic pay will keep on increasing. It will become maximum like 1,67,300 something. So still you can have, means your basic pay will increase, right? That happens with every government job. That pay security and the increment will always you will get yearly. And if you are moving from one to other, maximum pay which is going is the basic pay is going in the present seventh pay commission is 2,25,000 is the basic pay. Once the next pay commission comes, or when the government decide to increase salary of the government employees, this generally gets multiplied by 1.5 times or 1.6 times. Okay, so that is a change in the pay from one pay commission to other pay commission. Okay, with the other department, if you see the like price services, if you see the Indian Navy and others, you will find that equivalent of scientist post here has got a certain equivalent of the officer post in the Army, Navy, or Air Force. Okay, so like scientist F is equivalent to Commodore, then scientist C is equal to captain, scientist D is equal to commander. Like that, these posts are there. Okay. Of course, that comparison doesn't serve any purpose, but that is only for the government sake to understand okay, so how the pay will increase from every year wise, right? So you see, if you are in level 15 and 1,82,000 will be your basic pay initially, and then it will become 1,87,500. That means 5,000 more because it is a 3% increment everywhere. Okay, that's how the government has decided. Now, now comes the interview questions and the interview tips. See, basically, written exam is again technical, so I will not go to the technical part. If you are preparing for the GATE exam well, and if you are clearing the GATE exam, and if you are getting an opportunity to give an interview written exam for the DRDO, then the written test will be technical only. Okay, and they will be asking. So if you're technically if you're good, fine. Coming to the interview part is 90% it will be technical, right? And they will be asked you something. You should know more about DRDO when you are preparing for the DRDO interview, right? You should not go just blind. And I am sure everyone does whenever want to appear for anything, they will keep themselves updated. Okay, that is one part. Next part will be in the technical part how they will be doing. I remember initially when they we used to get the information about they go deep into a particular topic. If you take right, if you take about an operational amplifier, so they will start asking you about operational amplifier, different kinds of operational amplifier, their configuration, adder, and the multiplier using operational amplifier, how we do the logarithmic amplifier, and they keep on doing like this, and they will go till the point where you stop giving the answers. Okay, so that is how the interview basically works because that needs some kind of what do you say the deep understanding of any subject. So they can ask you your favorite subject or the subject where you feel more comfortable in answering the things, and then based on that they will be experts from the different group. They will be experts from the industry. They will be experts from the DRDO themselves. They will be experts from the academia and mostly from the IITs or NITs, and they will be asking you the questions. So the idea is not to know that because after freshers they don't want to know that how technically or how strong you are good in research, but how is your bent towards research and how easily understand you understand how make you easily understand the technical concepts. Okay, so that is the main idea. So someone is asking about the radar. So the basic equations of the radar, right? That we should know. Someone is asking about the communication signals, then the different kinds of constellation diagrams that we see around, different kinds of modulation schemes that we see. So they will be asking microwave, is another favorite topic in the DRDO, electromagnetic waves. So they will be asking questions on those for the electronics and communication. Similarly, for the mechanical people, they will be asking the questions more about uh, their subject, like they work in structure, they work in propulsion, so whatever according to their interest, they will be asking the questions from that domain. So they do not jump from one domain to other, but yes, they always try to understand the student perspective, how he look at the any other technology, his technical perspective, okay, technological perspective, where he want to understand how better understanding he has of that subject. So not going to further the thing, but you can post your questions and other things. I will be continuing with the interview questions. Like suppose if I ask if signal systems, if electronics and communication engineer students are here, And if I ask them signal system, they write the equation for a convolution. Okay, so that's a simple thing, right? You have to write. But once you write the equation of convolution, many times it happens we write the equation of convolution in an incorrect way, and because it's little complex, the word says convolution itself is complex. So their idea is just to know whether you understand the convolution or not. Remembering is one part, but you understand the convolution or not, that is what they want to know. Right. So you have to be, and you have to, when you are appearing for interview, just don't go by the way it is clearly you understand the concept. Okay. So while solving, you can solve it, but while telling, you have to be very clear. Okay. What is your thought process regarding that? Make sure that when you are appearing for the interview, there are around 8, 9 subjects are there. And I'm sure if someone asks you what is your favorite subject, you can't say that I'm good in all the subjects. Yeah, it happens that someone can be good in all subjects, but majority of the students they like some subject very much than the other subject. So whatever subjects you feel like control systems or digital electronics, you go with that preparation. Okay. It may happen, unfortunately, that your likings are for control system, but in the panel of who are taking your interview, none of them are from the control system. They are generally from the different backgrounds, microwave, electromagnetics, or communication, or signal processing. If you are electronics engineers and different. So generally, my suggestion will be just don't go by one subject. Make have multiple choice of 2 or 3 subjects so that you will give an opportunity to them to ask questions. If you give an opportunity to them to ask the questions, and if someone of them in your branch only, if he is there, then definitely that is one good thing, because your things and his things will match. Otherwise, someone from your subject is control system and you said I like control system more, and there is no one from control system, then people start asking the some questions which are not at all related to control system, and you will not able to answer them also. So that's where the problem happens. So take 2 or 3 subjects which you feel that you are more comfortable, read them more and more vigorously, right? And try to see that how the interview questions can be framed from them, so that you will get an opportunity to them to ask about from your chosen subject. These are some of the interview tips which you may need, and further interview questions. If I say that if the interview goes around for period of 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, right? Not more than that. If you are really, if they start liking your answers and everything, they may stretch up to 50 minutes also, but not beyond that. Okay. So that you should keep in mind. And finally, you should answer and you should tell in such a way so that they start liking you. Because interviews are something, because the more you are expressive and the more they are liking your answers, you think that your interview is done. Okay, it is not about how well you know, but how well you inform them, how well you tell them. Even the smallest thing, if you know, and if something if you don't know, just tell you don't know about this much. And if you want to answer that, it may not be a complete picture of it what you want to ask. So, but if you know something and if they ask you that, definitely take time to explain that things properly. Okay, I think they will provided you the boards and pen. You can express something if you want to write something on board, and you can do that. From my side, the interview tips for you to is go with preparation of 2 to 3 subjects at least, and those subjects should be as good as you think that yes, these are the subjects you have done little bit of mastery over them. Okay, so something can be asked from them. There are 90 to 95% chances that you should able to answer it. Of course, the subjects are too big; everyone cannot learn 100% of it. But yes, you can able to answer 90 to 95% of questions from it. Okay. And next step is in during the interview, don't get anxious, because anxiety sometimes if you don't able to answer a particular question, don't lose heart, because next question you ask them. Okay, because and just the way different interview tips are there, your strengths and weaknesses you should know, right? And if they ask you why you want to join DRDO, you should be able to tell all those things. because some of you may be coming from a private companies and want to join DRDO. You may be having different packages, because salary is not an issue with DRDO now. Salary is more or less it is good only, right? Of course, don't compare the salaries of different other companies who pay in lakhs of lakhs. DRDO doesn't give that way, but yes, DRDO gives the better growth opportunities. DRDO gives a different outlook to your career, right? Which you will feel that yes, in the long run, you will find it is more and more beneficial than joining the private company. Of course, defense R&D is taking place in India and industries also. You can join industries and get part of the defense R&D there also. Okay. Uh, but I would suggest that country DRDO, the place like DRDO needs a good engineer, good scientist for them to move ahead, right? All the things definitely industry can't do. The DRDO started in 1960s and 65, and the experience they have is a very, very rich experience, which industry will take time to invite them. Okay. With this, anything if you want to ask from me, any questions, any queries, please put a question in the chat box. I can see it. I'll try to answer it. Life in DRDO, if I tell you that uh, DRDO has got its own township at various places, and almost all the places they have their own uh, accommodations, which can provide you the good accommodation, right, within a city. And if you're in a city like Bangalore, especially in Bangalore, you will get a good space, a good accommodation there. And depending on your rank also, once you become B, you will be residing in scientist hostel. Then as you move to scientist C, D, E, F, you will get the different types of accommodation there, type 4, type 5 kind of accommodation, which are definitely good for a family to live with. Okay. DRDO gives you your higher studies and education. They provide there is a scheme in the DRDO where you can opt for ME MTech courses. You can pursue your PhD, right? But not initially immediately. But yes, after the 3 to 4 years of your service, you become eligible to go for higher studies, and you can go for even. And I think that you should do once you are in DRDO, you should carry out if you are in research, that your research temperament that keeps alive your research temperament, because you will be doing all kinds of activities there. See, once you are scientist, yes, you will be doing the R&D activity, that is primary job, but there are secondary things the organization will demand. You may have to take certain managerial jobs later in your career, right? You have to do some administrative jobs also, because the whole and soul of the laboratory is being done by the scientist only. So various other activities also you have to take care, and that is required because that gives certain kind of what you say the job becomes monotonous if you do only one kind of activity. So if you diversity happens in the job if you take up those activities also. There are various training courses and which takes place regularly in the DRDO, that also you can avail, and that also you can do once you become a scientist in DRDO. So there are many good things. Of course, you will like, and you will find a job whichever you do. If you feel that you are interested in certain areas of field, certain areas of technology, you can always work on those areas. Okay, there's nothing like there may be a little bit hindrance initially, but yes, at the end, the lab directors and the director general will understand, and they will definitely ask you to work. Initially, time you just show your interest in the research, show your interest. Once they understand the talent is there, they will definitely use the talent for the better work. So that's from my side. Uh, any questions from your side or any queries? Please post. I'll be. I can see the questions later also. So thank you so much and listening to this. I hope it may be useful to you. Any queries, anything, you can post it on the chat box. It will be answered. If not, if there are any in the coming up session, but will be answered, will taken up, and the information will be given to you. Okay. Thank you.